There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. You know, it's crazy, right? It's money everywhere. It's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino is the name.
Hey, yo, what's going on right now? You're watching Casino is the Name, and it is my humble opinion that Stephen A. Smith is clout chasing, and I know this is, of course, it's just my opinion, but that's my point, right? Like, Stephen A. Smith is criticizing VP Kamala Harris. He does it in multiple videos, but what's the purpose of it, right? Like, what's the purpose of him doing this, right? Like, why is he doing it? And it's just my opinion that he's only doing it for views, right? He has to just be doing it for views. I mean, I don't agree with him at all. He just recently did a video where he was saying that Kamala Harris, VP, Vice President Kamala Harris, showed up to an interview with Tim Walz. And in my opinion, it showed unity. In my opinion, it showed that she wasn't just out here making decisions on her own. So that was good. To me, that's good, because I would like for our president or anyone in leadership to take on counsel from other people, and to see someone working hand in hand with counsel or someone else who is a peer in a concerted effort. That to me is a positive look. That to me is a positive look. Okay. I'm going to play something. Hold on. Listen to this. Hold on. My bad. It's not. Hold on. Let me. Forgot I had this. Forgot I had my AirPods in. Let me take that out. All right. Here we go. Listen to this.
See what you do. You show up with Tim Walz on your side? Really? Really? You know we were looking for you. You know we wanted to hear from you. No disrespect to him whatsoever, but ain't nobody. How many times you gonna hear that he's a school teacher and a former coach? That he gets you. How many times? We know this already. We got it. You want to talk to us about the state of affairs in Minnesota? You want to talk to us about it being one of the highest tax states in the republic? You want to talk to us about whatever crime is going on there? What your positions were during the riots, etc., etc. I'm down with you. I got it. But there's millions of people who disagree. If you want to go that route, no. Nobody cared. You know why? They want to hear from her. And why do they want to hear from her? Because when she was the vice president, you never heard from her. And she was getting blamed for stuff that she may not have deserved to get blamed for. Well, what is it? We're blaming you for flip-flopping on fracking. Is it true? Are you? Healthcare. Has your position flip-flopped on that? Or is it the same? They're talking about, you got surrogates out there talking about, now you're willing to support building a wall after you spoke against it. Is that true? Is it? These are legitimate questions, is all I'm saying. I'm not castigating her. I'm not casting convictions upon her or anything like that. I'm saying we want to hear from her. I don't give a damn about hearing from Tim Walz right now. He's the vice president nominee. We got it. We understand. We ain't trying to hear from him, no. We want to hear from her. Because we've been waiting to hear from you for 4 years. We want to see where you stand and why. And oh, by the way, as Teflon Don, as Donald Trump may be, that's with his constituents. It's not with registered independents. That's who you're trying to win over. Where you at? Ladies and gentlemen, she ain't going up against Mitt Romney, who knows his stuff. Say what you want about Ron DeSantis. He knows his stuff. She ain't going up against Nikki Haley. Whatever your positions may be, with the border wall, with inflation, with crime in democratic cities, although there's crime in Republican-led cities too. The point is, that ain't even it. The issue is, you did this in your first press conference, Kamala Harris. You sat up there and said, believe me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type. You talked about dealing with criminals, fraudsters, and con artists. And then you said, believe me when I say, ladies and gentlemen, I know Donald Trump's type. Well, if you know his type, and you're accustomed to dealing with him, why is he the one doing a bunch of interviews? Again, the strategy was fine. I'm not complaining about the strategy you employed up to this point. I'm saying be clear. That ain't gonna win you the presidency. You, Kamala Harris, what the hell are you doing? I'm not saying what are you doing as in right now. The strategy thus far is fine. I'm talking about moving forward. And when you know the world is transfixed on you as the potential next president of the United States, and we're looking to see what you do, you show up with Tim Walz by your side? Really? Really? You know we were looking for you. You know we wanted to hear from you. No disrespect to him.
Okay, so, and if you can hear him, he has a lot of conviction, and he brings up a lot of points. Right? And these things are fair. Those are fair game questions. You can ask these questions. What's your position on this? Have you changed on this? What do you feel like about this? What do you feel like about that? But to the way he sounds as though we all agree that this is a bad strategy for her. And I actually think that it's a great strategy. Just because your opponent may be hurting themselves because they're doing a bunch of interviews, or their style is to do a bunch of interviews and say, well, why aren't you doing interviews? And even if people want interviews from them, if it's not where you need to be in that moment for yourself or your campaign or whatever your style is, that's up to you. I'm not going to be trying to play your game to win this other game. Like, I don't have to do it the way that you do it, okay? I don't. Everybody does not feel the way you feel, Stephen A. I think it's genius that if she stays off of interviews for whatever reason, if she feels like she's not a strong interviewer, if she feels like she's a 10 times better interviewer, it's fine. Whatever her strategy is, it's working. You just said up to this point, your strategy has been working. You don't know what their plans are for the future. You don't know. You're also not her. You're not her. You're just a media personality who covers sports, and you talk about this and you talk about that. But you're not a politician. You don't know what's going on a day to day. You're also not the vice president. I feel like it is very, very good. And Tim Walz is a phenomenal speaker. And I'm glad that they're united and that they are a united front. I want to see more collaboration in the presidency. Me personally, that's what I want to see. I see nothing wrong with what she did. But you're on here raising your voice and ranting and stressing, and we want to hear from you. She just became the she was the vice president, but she just became the nominee for president. She has made nothing but amazing decisions up to this point. So you think that we want to hear what Stephen A. Smith thinks about what the vice president or a candidate running for president should do? You do not speak for all of us, brother. You do not speak for all of us. And I find it nearly comical. I find it nearly comical. I do. I honestly, I don't know what Stephen A. Smith, I like your videos about basketball and stuff like that. But when you start doing stuff like this is such a much more sensitive situation, right? We cannot have another Jan 6. We just can't, right? We just can't. So Like, whatever you think that is what the masses want, there may be millions of people who want that. And then there's millions of other people who don't care nothing about the fact that she brought Tim Walz to the thing and don't feel like that hurt her, because there's going to be plenty of more conversations without him. Who thinks that this is the only interview we're going to ever get while she's getting ready to run for president? Even if it is, who thinks that this is really the only one? I don't think this is the only one. You know, she isn't like President Biden or former President Donald Trump, who has been campaigning for, a year, who started their campaign or their plans for their campaign 2 years ago. She wasn't one of them. She's only been in this for a very, very small percentage of the time. And all of those interviews that her opponent might be doing aren't necessarily the most flattering interviews. Just because he's unafraid to get out there and say whatever he wants to say, it's not necessarily been helping him, right? What are we doing? Why would I try to play your game? I'm not trying to play your game. I'm trying to put forth a concerted effort at running for president. That's what I'm doing. That's what, if I'm speaking, if I'm her thoughts, right? I'm not trying to make Stephen A. Smith feel better because he decides he wants to criticize me. Stephen A. Smith decides he wants to criticize me because I brought my VP, the person that I nominated to be my second in command, with me to my first interview, so you can see what our message is, that we're on the same page. Are you doing this for clout? Because I can promise you I'm not doing this for clout. I'm only doing this because, first of all, he did a previous video criticizing the VP, Vice President Kamala Harris. And he did a previous video, then he did a whole nother video after that, kind of praising her and everything like that. And now he's back with this. And I'm like, you're not the voice for everybody, brother. I don't think you even, and I respect you as a journalist. I respect that as a journalist and all of that. Like, I love what you talk about when you talk about sports and stuff like that. But this ain't it, man. Like, you have you're out of your depth. Honestly, in my opinion, this is my opinion, though, because like I said, this is the world we live in, right? Like, where it's social media. Everybody got a podcast, everybody got a video, everybody got a channel, and in my opinion, you're just out of your depth, right? You're just out of your depth. You're criticizing something that doesn't actually make sense to me, but it makes sense to you. I get it, whatever. But why? What is your purpose for this? What? That's why I said, to me, it must be clout chasing. Because do you have nothing else to talk about? I guess. I don't know. But the whole reason I'm doing this video is just to say there's other voices. There's other people's perspectives that matter, right? And when you are somebody of a following or have an influence, you get on here and you say stuff and other people don't have professional quality equipment and lighting and all that kind of stuff, and they can't get on here and make these nice videos, and you're the only voice. People will, like, somebody sent me this video as though this was like, oh, look, look at what he's saying. It makes sense. And I'm not knocking you criticizing anything else, any political person's positions on actual things that they said or anything like that. I'm not knocking that. But what was this? What you're criticizing because she came there with somebody else. The interviewer still gets to ask her questions. The interviewer still asks her questions and she still answers them. That's not the problem. Like, we're focusing on so much negativity, and it's like, do y'all not remember Jan 6? What? Like, I don't care what the positions are. They not that position. They're not Jan 6. So what are we talking about here? Why even push this ridiculous narrative that because she came there with somebody else, her running mate, she came there with her running mate and was doing, yes, I want to hear, yes, there are people, it just irritates me because I understand how media works. I understand how media works, right? I understand that there are people who never saw her interview or Tim Walz's statements besides that interview. You feel like everybody in the world has seen Tim Walz's speech about being a coach or about being this or being a father, about being, they haven't. Everybody hasn't. CNN is that interview is gonna reach places that maybe some of these other avenues didn't. Everybody isn't watching the DNC or the RNC. Everybody isn't watching these campaign speeches. They just want to watch an interview. There's a lot of people who just tune in for that. So yes, we want to hear all of that. We want to hear all of that. Brother, listen, you are out of your depth. It is crazy. But this is a continuous situation where there's misleading and misfocused energy when it comes to this political thing. Or not even just this political thing, just things in general. Just people, celebrities, like this stuff is, we're all out of focus. We're all out of focus. Stephen A., I mean, you got to be clout chasing. And that's all I can think is you got to be clout chasing. That's the only, like, what benefit do you get from criticize? Like, you think, so you must be hearing millions and millions and millions of people saying, oh, she should have done this. Why did she show up this way? Who are you hearing that from? I haven't heard that from anybody. And I'm a regular person out here in the real world. And I hear people who voting for the other side or for one side and people who vote for the other side and this side. And I hear all of that. You're the voice that I hear saying that. Now, I'm not saying that other people ain't online in the news or in the media saying these things. I haven't seen these or heard these things, but once you say it, it becomes a topic of conversation. But it's ridiculous. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? If she is elected the president, she will still be the president. She'll still be the president. It is what it is. What are we talking about? I need media to do better. I need media to stop clout chasing, man. Stop clout. Like what are we doing? Let's focus on the facts. You talk about the facts. You talk about this. Cool. Let's talk about that. But this criticism that she showed her with her VP, this is crazy. Do you remember what happened when there was a VP running for his life at the Capitol? You know, do you remember what was going on with the other VP? You know, so it's good that we see these VPs, this VP and what this VP nominee and the presidential nominee together consorted. That's great. I want to see that. You say whatever you want to see. That's fine. But media, come on. What are we doing? This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Stephen A., stop clout chasing. I know you need some views. Get you some views. That's cool. I ain't tripping. I don't even get you some views, but come on, dog. Come on, man. You clout chasing, man. Clout chasing, it's not looking good, bro. It's not looking good. Stay focused on the facts, man. Everybody don't care that she showed up with her VP or thinks that that's a bad idea. I think it's a great idea. Appreciate it. Keep more of it. Let's do more of that. Let's do more collaboration. Let's do more of that. You know what I'm saying? The Democratic Party was the whole DNC theme was togetherness. You know what I'm saying? Just because you feel that way don't mean that we all feel that way. I don't care if it's millions of other people who feel one way. There's millions of other people who feel the other way. You're just way out of your depth here. Like, this is ridiculous. I'm just tired of the rhetoric. Like, let's focus on what's really important. Let's focus on for real. Like, let's all just focus on what's really important here. Let's just hey, y'all can anybody want to reach out to me, you can. I'm reachable, but let's focus on what's really important. This is getting outrageous. It's getting outrageous. You can ask the questions you want to ask. You can criticize whatever policies or statements or whatever, but Let's also remember Jan 6. Let's also remember that. Let's break it all down. You mad that somebody else showed up with their VP or their VP nominee, their potential VP to their presidential campaign to an interview. Like this ain't even her first interview. She has plenty of interviews, but you could say this is her first official presidential nominee interview. But she's done plenty of other interviews. But you're upset. You're all high pitched in your voice because she showed up with her running mate in hand. This is crazy. Is there nothing else to talk about? Is there nothing else? You brought up some good points. Yet the interviewer has to ask her those questions, and she answered all the questions they asked. She answered the questions, but the interviewer has to ask her that. Are you upset that you didn't get an interview? Like, is it because you didn't get an interview? I don't know what it is, but this is let's focus on what's really important. What are y'all doing? Media, yeah, I see all y'all, I guess, want to stay objective, or maybe you get more clicks or likes or views because you take whatever stance, or I don't know what it is, okay? Maybe you want to be cool with one side more than you want to be cool with the other. I don't know what it is, but let's stay focused on the facts, okay? That's all I'm asking from everybody. Let's just stay focused on the facts. And the fact is, Jan 6 happened. I've watched YouTubers that I really was rocking with for like years say outlandish things. Say some outlandish things. And yeah, so I definitely, I've been thinking about reaching out to some that I know because of previous potential positions before this current running situation. And I just been wanting to like reach out to them and like have a real conversation, because a lot of people been quiet. Like I saw them saying some stuff, and then now there's a lot of people like not really saying their real position or their original positions anymore. And I just want to know, did they minds change? Did they see some new information that made them change? Like, what is it that made them, adjust or whatever? But yeah, like it's time for us to like really focus on what's really important and do what's right. So, but this clout chasing, man, like, cause trust me, I ain't clout chasing. This video may get no views and I'm fine with that. Hopefully somebody sees this and sends it to Stephen A. So I would love to have a conversation with Stephen A. Smith. And really, I don't even want to talk to him because I don't even understand what this was about. I don't really want to talk to him. I want to talk to, should I say? I shouldn't even say, because yeah, I shouldn't even say. I actually did a video before all of this. Why? I'm gonna say it. I want to talk to Dr. Umar Johnson. That's who I really want to talk to. That is who I am dying to have a conversation with, on camera, off camera, whatever. It don't have to be on camera. It could be off camera. I saw him here recently, not too far from here, at a venue, speaking, and he was a long line of people and stuff like that. And I really don't keep up with all the stuff that he says. But once I saw some of the recent interviews that he did, I said, God, I would love to have a conversation with this guy, man. Love to have a conversation with him, man. Just they say iron sharpens iron, mind sharpens mind. So I love to see, I love to just have a real, no cameras. Let's just chop it up. Let's sit down. Let's discuss. Because I would love to understand his perspective on some things, like why he is the way he is, I guess you can say. But Stephen A., all y'all, man, let's focus on what's important, man. Like we ain't got time to be playing. This ain't the time to be hating. You know what I mean? That's all. Like you either clout chasing or you hating. Like I don't know what it is. You mad that somebody else that Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris, showed up with her VP nominee to an interview. Her first interview, I guess you can say, her first official interview. You are mad that she showed up in hand, in partnership with her running mate, when her opposition and his previous VP was running for his life. You know what I'm saying? From him, from his folks, you know. So it's like, what are we doing? What are we doing here? Why are we criticizing togetherness? This don't make any sense. And you making it seem like everybody don't feel the way you feel. Shout it like that ain't what's happening. So anyway, that's all I want to say. Cut it out. Media, knock it off. Okay, let's be focused on what's really important. All right. Anyway, right now you're watching Casino is the Name. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and we out.
There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. You know, it's crazy, right? It's money everywhere. It's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino is the Name.